The Broncos defense comes up short, and the Avs have found a new way to stumble upwards. All this and more coming up. It's noon, and this is Michael Martin with KEPC Sports. A tale of two quarterbacks, it seems, in the matchup this weekend between Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. While Pat Mahomes had a marvelous day throwing, again for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, Case Keenum struggled all day, getting sacked twice in 3 plays for a 33-yard loss and throwing the pick that sealed the fate of the game against the Chiefs. Ultimately, the Broncos defense fell short, putting very little pressure on the young quarterback that they were facing. All in all, the Broncos fell to the Chiefs 30-23, sending them into the trade deadline with lots of questions about the Broncos team's future and their matchup next week against another young promising quarterback in that of Deshaun Watson and the Texans. We move now over to the land of frozen water where the Avalanche are still hopeful for a winning season. The Avs started their long road trip on a loss with a tight defeat to the Minnesota Wild. Tight losses are an overall story for the team, but they are off to an altogether better start than they have had in the last few seasons. The Wild loss came at the expense of a rather bullish decision to pull the goalie in regulation rather than face overtime. However, not all hope is lost, as the Avalanche are still second in their division, right behind the Nashville Predators, and just celebrated a major 6-3 victory over the Ottawa Senators. With the next game against the Calgary Flames, the Avs hope to put this rocky start of a season behind them. Moving on from sticks and rubber to sticks and balls, we have the Boston Red Sox that defeated the LA Dodgers in a 5-1 Game 5 of the World Series.
From the top on down, here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series!
This game brings to an end the World Series where the Dodgers were only able to gain the upper hand in one game. This championship is the second since 2013 for the Red Sox and their fourth in 15 years. When we get back, we'll have a young hockey fan who's just had his favorite player for life decided for him. Coming up next on 89.7 KEPC.
Multimedia graphic design is a fully interactive classroom experience. Start off this experience with a brief history of art.
You have to learn to crawl before you can walk, which means learn the basics before you take on something harder.
For example, an introduction to multimedia, or how about production design, or design in color, Photoshop 1, Web Design 1, Illustrator 1. Those are just a few to choose from.
Go to ppcc.edu for more information. Pikes Peak Community College. It's your life. Make it count.
Welcome back to 89.7 KEPC Sports as we head back to the world of ice and warm-hearted Russians to talk about a fan that got a gift of a lifetime when Alex Ovechkin skated over during warm-ups and tossed him a souvenir. Here's the play caller with what happened.
And there's a souvenir. I believe it was that young man's birthday. He won't forget it. That smile will be on his face forever.
Not only did the young fan walk away with an amazing memory and souvenir, but Ovechkin and the Capitals were able to secure the victory over the Flames 4-3. That's KEPC Sports. I'm Michael Martin. Now back to Maximum Variety on 89.7 KEPC.